Good morning. I am happy to share with you the Q4 and full year earnings results for FY16, and I'd like to start by basically saying that we've had a very strong showing both at a quarterly level and at the full year level. At a quarterly level, we have actually had a landmark performance this quarter, because at a consolidated revenue level we have crossed 1,000 crores for the very first time. In terms of our biopharma business, we have realized 11% growth this quarter at 655 crores. And at an EBITDA level, in terms of consolidated revenues, we have seen an 18% rise to 238 crores. There was an exceptional income this quarter of 268 crores, which is why the net profit has surged to 361 crores. But if you exclude this exceptional income, our net profit is at 105 crores this quarter. Another highlight of this quarter has been the highest R&D spend ever, at 100 crores of R&D at a net level and 152 crores of R&D at a gross level. This basically represents 15% and 23% at a net and gross level of biopharma sales. So this is a very high percentage of R&D spends in the company, and this basically reflects the advancement of all our various biosimilar and novel programs, which really is going to be a very strong growth driver going forward. At a full year level, again we've had a very strong showing. At a consolidated revenue level, we have basically achieved a top line of 3,570 crores, which is a 14% increase year on year. EBITDA has increased to 903 crores, which is a 21% increase. And again, if you add the exceptional income that we have seen this year of 576 crores, the net profit of course is at 896. But if you were to basically exclude exceptional income, then the net profit is at 437 crores. Again, R&D expenses have surged at a net level to 275 crores and at a gross level at 427 crores, reflecting 12 and 18% respectively of biopharma sales. Again, this basically reflects the kind of investment that one needs to make to basically drive and develop a global biosimilar initiative in companies like ours. So this should give you some perspective on the importance of investing these large amounts and making these large R&D bets, which, as you know, now is paying off for Biocon. Syngene also had a very strong showing this year. They crossed 1,000 crores in top line, and this was again another landmark milestone. In quarter 4, they had a very strong growth of 32%, and I think Syngene has already made a strong debut on the stock market, and it continues to drive growth in a very robust manner. If I were to then reflect on some of the key developments for the quarter and over the year gone by, I would say the most significant development has been the Japanese regulatory approval for our biosimilar insulin glargine. This indeed is a huge credibility milestone, because it basically validates Biocon's biosimilar in terms of its global opportunity. And we believe that this Japanese approval opens up many markets in the emerging markets, and it sets us up very well as we prepare to submit our dossiers both for EU and US registrations. So it is not a question of if, but it is now a question of when will we receive these approvals. So I think Biocon is extremely now confident about its biosimilar strategy, and we are pleased that there is a recognition now of Biocon being a very strong front runner in the biosimilar space globally. As you know, we have already, basically expressed our position on other programs, where you know that we have informed you that there will be several regulatory filings for the US and European markets for many of our biosimilar programs: pegfilgrastim, insulin glargine, trastuzumab, adalimumab. So I think we are very, very well poised to basically make a very strong play of our biosimilars portfolio. In terms of other developments, another important milestone for us was the European approval of our rosuvastatin tablets, which basically heralds our foray into the generics business. And we are also all set to basically get an approval of our rosuvastatin ANDA for the US market entry. As you know, we are already developing a pipeline of ANDAs and generic formulations for the US and European markets, and we believe that this will basically drive value in our small molecules verticals. I would also like to inform you that we have had an induction of Mr. Damodaran onto the Biocon board. We believe this is an important development because Mr. Damodaran brings a huge value to the board, given his experience at various forums, especially as the former head of SEBI. And this is a very, very welcome development which the board of Biocon wishes to share with you. We are very focused on basically driving growth, and we expect that going forward, as we move into the INDAS reporting system, that we will now start reporting henceforth in a segmented way, along these growth verticals, basically biologics, small molecules, and research services. So, this is the way we will start, declaring our earnings, because it's important for you to see how our biologics, which is largely biosimilars, is going to basically drive growth for us going forward. We also have a branded formulations business, which includes both India, GCC, that is through Neo Biocon, and many of our other forays in which we propose to make in Malaysia and other countries. So going forward, this is the way you will see a segment analysis of our earnings, and you will clearly see how we are going to start delineating our growth verticals in this very, very well analyzed way. I would also like to say in the same way that we have decided to set up an entity where we will incorporate all the biologics, so that we can basically give you a clear delineation of our various growth verticals. We are setting up an entity called Biocon Biologics in the UK. UK has been chosen due to its strategic proximity to our main markets, which are the US and European markets. We also see the UK as a very strong innovation-led ecosystem, and I think this is going to be a very important way forward for Biocon. Branded formulations has had a pretty flat showing this year, largely because we have completely rationalized our product offerings. We want to start shaping this business into a specialty business. So we have shed a lot of brands, we have shed a lot of the business, and started focusing really on our key areas, which is really diabetology, oncology, nephrology, and these are the sort of and inflammation or immunotherapy. These are really the main areas that we believe that Biocon will be very strong in, and we really don't want to really invest too many resources in the other divisions that we had and other products offerings that we had in the past. Going forward, we expect branded formulations to start growing from this base. In terms of our novel programs, we are at this point in time in preparation to move into the next phase of clinical development, phase 2, phase 3 for our oral insulin program, insulin tregopil. As you know, we have already shared the very encouraging data that we've had from our recent series of trials with this particular molecule, with respect to food effects, with respect to absorption, with respect to other aspects of PK/PD. So I think we are very well poised to take this molecule into the next phase of development, and all things going well, we hope that this will become a reality. In terms of our itolizumab program, we are at this point in time pursuing a series of clinical trials in Australia to establish safety and efficacy data for a sub-Q formulation of this particular molecule. We are also progressing well on our fusion MABs, which is another very interesting and exciting opportunity for us. These are bispecific functional antibodies, which is really a very, very hot area now being pursued, and I think our technology is right up there competing with the others, and we believe that we have a very unique disposition in this particular space, and we are excited with the ability to combine checkpoint inhibitors with other targeted therapies. So we believe that this is another very exciting set of opportunities for us through our novel programs. And I would say that going forward, we are very encouraged with all the developments that we have seen over this last fiscal, and we are now very confident that FY17 will continue to drive growth on the similar kind of momentum we've seen in the last few months, and we therefore are getting into FY17 on a very strong and optimistic note of growth. This growth is largely going to be driven by our biosimilars, both in emerging markets, and of course Japan will be the first regulated market that we will see an entry into with our biosimilar Glargine. Our partners Fujifilm Pharma have basically indicated that they will be in the market by the first, within the first half of this fiscal. So we are really excited to make this entry into the Japanese market. Other growth drivers, of course, is going to be our, the generic formulations, which we hope will also drive strong growth for an otherwise flat performing small molecules vertical, but we expect this now to show growth in FY17. Branded formulations, like I explained, is been positioned to drive strong growth in FY17. And we also expect, of course, our research services business at Syngene to continue to drive robust growth in FY17.